Hello, everybody. I am here with Laura Probert today, and she is going to be the guest artist for the April prompts in my pre-2017 art journaling journey. So I feel so grateful to have some really fantastic artists and writers in my group this year. And I want to read to you just an introduction about her because she has accomplished so many things, it's hard for me to remember everything. So I got this off her website. Laura Probert, MPT, is a licensed holistic physical therapist, published author, poet, and awareness coach. She's serious about integrating mind, body, and soul as a journey to passion and power, and she'll show you how. She works to help you wake up, be brave, heal your shit, and do what you love so you can share your message with the world. She's the author of Living, Healing, and Taekwondo and contributor for the Huffington Post, Wild Sister Magazine, Mind Body Green, The Wellness Universe, Tiny Buddha, Black Belt Magazine, and Elephant Journal, among others. When she's not writing, you'll find her with her kids, dogs, and horse, or testing dark chocolates. Yum. Find her writing for warrior healing workshops and programs at lauraprobert.com or brainhealer.com. So I wanted to show you, actually, I met Laura online, and I was very impressed with the poetry and the writing she has done that I have seen on Facebook and everywhere. So actually, I got invited to do some art for her book that came out last year. It was called Warrior Soul, which is really a journal, but she had collected a bunch of writers and artists that wrote poetry, and then art was produced with the poetry, or the art was inspired for the poetry, and there were blank pages. I did a flip through of this entire journal on a YouTube video that you can find under my name. So if you want to know more about it, it's a fabulous book. I didn't want to write in it because I feel like my handwriting would just ruin everything. So this is really is a journal, but it's full of prompts and inspiration from other artists and writers. So going from that, the theme in April will be from awareness to creativity. So now I'm going to stop talking and see if Laura can tell us something about her or your creative journey. Laura, can you please tell us something?
Yeah, hi, and thanks for having me today. This is so much fun to talk about the creative process, and I love your art journaling work, and everybody who does art inspires me to do more art.
Yes.
Yours specifically is so beautiful and so colorful that it always makes me want to do more of it. But creative journey for me started with writing. I've been journaling since I was 15 years old. Those journals have a lot of writing in them, a lot of poetry, but also I would do things like do magazine collages in my journals. But when I was young, I never drew or doodled or made art in those journals because my sister was the artist. And I never thought that I was the artist. I never really thought that I got that talent or that creativity. So sadly enough, I never tried until I was much older. And now that I'm doing things like painting, and mostly painting and drawing, I think to myself, oh my gosh, why didn't I give myself a chance when I was younger to just express myself like that? It's an amazing thing. So everything started with the writing, but a few years ago, I got a nudge from an artist friend, one of the collaborators in that journal. And she said, you really need to take an art course, and you need to make your own pictures. Because I kept asking her for artwork to use, with my poems. And so Jeanette McDonald is an amazing artist in Canada, and she got me to take an online art course, and I haven't been able to stop painting ever since.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, I bet.
Jeanette is going to be one of our teachers in this year too, in September. So
Beautiful. Excellent. You will really enjoy her.
yes, I love her art. So what is art to you? Just to ask you a difficult question.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I think maybe that does sound difficult for people, but I believe that art is just a full expression of your soul in whatever form you choose to express it, right? So it could be a poem, it could be a painting, it could be a performance. And art is just a pure expression of our essence, which I think everybody is born with. So that's my easy answer to a hard question.
Well, it really is true what you say. I agree 100% there. So I wanted to connect or talk a little bit about the connection between art writing and healing, and and any physical connection to that, since you're into martial arts. So,
well, that's my favorite question of all, because as a holistic physical therapist, I'm teaching people to access their creativity through the body, through body awareness and feeling and sensation. And so the connection for me has been quite profound, actually. And I'm working on a workshop that integrates those things. So it's not just a physical therapy session maybe that you need. Maybe you need to do some journaling, or maybe you need to pick up a pencil or a pen and doodle or draw, or a paintbrush and paint. But there's so many ways to access healing. And I think it's really, really important to start to help people redefine healing in general, because it can mean so much more than, of course, than the things we're used to, like taking a pill or having a surgery or just recovering from an injury. Healing for me is such a bigger picture than that. And I believe that people settle for a certain level of healing because they don't know what's possible. And so that's really one of my missions, is to integrate things like art and writing and the healing process all together, to give people ideas of how they can really access bigger healing, bigger joy, and, you know, move towards the things that they really desire in their life. That's exciting to me.
it is very exciting. And can you tell me a little bit about your morning ritual, as far as in the line of healing? What do you do personally? What to set up a good day?
Yeah, morning time is pretty sacred for me. It always has been. I've always been a morning person.
Yeah.
And, I mean, nowadays I try not to have too many rules for myself about the rituals. I just want to make sure that I do the things that I know I need to nourish myself. And the morning tends to be my writing time, though. So basically every morning, I'm just sitting at my computer and doing free journaling. And what I love to say about that is I write to feng shui my soul. I
love it.
To move out that stuff from me onto the page and kind of clear a space for the creative flow. And usually when I do that regularly, then things like poems come easily, and blog articles and books.
Yes.
Yeah, so
I can see that.
Every morning. I sometimes include exercise, but that's not usually a morning ritual. So my cup of coffee and my computer and my writing are really my morning ritual.
Yeah, that's how you connect with your soul and go from there. But I can see it's funny that the journal was called Warrior Soul, that there is such a strong warrior in a good sense. vibe that I get from you that is very inspiring, and it's like you're a leader of people, and I find that we need people like you to be inspired, to see that there are possibilities, and so I very much appreciate that. So how do you get your flow going besides writing? Like, what else do you do, and what inspires you?
Exercise has been a really important part of my life for as long as I can remember. Moving my body, right?
Uh-huh.
And that's where you can start to integrate, the physical with the mental, with the spiritual, or movement for me. Exercise for me has always been an important way to move energy, whether I knew it or not as a young person, but now I know it for sure, because if I miss that movement for even a few days, I'm starting to feel it mentally, emotionally, as well as in my body too. But so I mostly practice Taekwondo these days. It's my main form of exercise, and I'll join my colleagues in the studio for Taekwondo, between 1 and 3 times a week. More likely 1 these last few months. It goes up and down. I have
Yeah.
a couple of teenagers in my house, and I'm juggling many, many things. So unfortunately, sometimes the exercise isn't prioritized, which is I'm being a bad role model when that happens, but I try my best.
I understand. Do you find that exercise helps creativity too? Say, if you wanted to paint in your art journal or a painting, and if you did the exercise before or some movements, would that help the creativity?
It always helps me. In fact, I often talk about poems coming in the middle of a run. So that's a dilemma. And of course, you don't have your paintbrush either in the middle of a run.
No.
So, but yes, for sure. Almost every time I go out for a walk or a run, I think it's nature inspired too, though. So it's both the movement and the nature connection. No kidding, almost every time I do it nowadays, a poem comes. So I've learned to keep a little pen, or I bring my phone because I can do my notes.
Yes.
So yeah, for sure. And I always tell people one of the best ways to get unstuck in creativity wise, or any kind of stuckness in your life, is to move. You got to move your butt, and the energy will shift and things will start to go and flow.
Yeah, it is simpler than we make it, right?
Yeah.
We make everything complicated.
Definitely.
That's funny, because my next question was, what advice for people who are stuck creatively?
I think we get in our own way. We like to use the word stuck a lot. I hear that so often. In fact, maybe a month or 2 ago, can't remember when, I wrote an article about embracing being stuck. Like, people, they feel it and then they don't want to feel it. So they get all frustrated and try to get out of it as fast as possible. But what if right in the middle of feeling stuck was the juice of your creativity? Why not embrace the feelings and feel them fully and create based on that? So I don't really believe in being or stuck so much. It's all a mindset.
Yes, and instead of taking action, we mull over things too much. And better to take some action and see where that goes.
Exactly.
But so how important is art to your life and others? How do you see art as something like, what should we call it? Like a turning point. I can't think of the right word now, but something that it's a catalyst for change. So do you feel that you get like inklings of what's coming in the future through your writing, in your own life, through your writing, your art? Do you kind of see something new opening up, and how does that work for you?
Yeah, you're making me think about the connection with the artistic process. The creative process is so intuitive.
Yes.
Also, you can't force intuition either, though. It's more of a flow. So if I'm inside of that flow, I'm not really thinking, oh, I'm going to be intuitive now and do this writing or this painting or whatever. I just allow myself to be in the process. Can I see through that process maybe into the future or what's coming next? That's a great question. I'm going to say for now, no, I'm not really sure that happens for me, but the joy comes from being in the moment of the process. And as soon as I allow myself to sink into the moment, that feeling of the zone, right? And you're just in the creation, and you're not really thinking about anything else. You for sure do not have your to-do list in your head in those moments. What freedom that is to be there. And then I don't really even care what the future holds, to be honest. That's a good feeling to have, right? Like a pure joy of just being in the process of it. I think that is what's so important. That's what you're talking about. Like that is a turning point for your own life, your own freedom, that mindfulness.
Yeah, and it becomes addictive almost. You long to have that feeling more and more. And so art becomes kind of a gateway to more freedom, I would say. Freedom of expression and in life in general.
Definitely, that's it.
Yeah.
You it up.
Yeah. So do you have any tips for newbies that people, or a good way to start an art exploration? Say people that are maybe afraid of starting their art practice or worry about technique, and where to start, and what suggestions do you have for people?
Yeah, I think you are doing exactly the thing that helps people start this process that might be a little bit afraid of it. The art journaling is so low stress.
Yeah.
Right? So things like that. And when I decided to take the online art course, after I started it, I thought to myself, oh my gosh, how easy is this to she just had a series of videos. And honestly, that's all it was. She gave us a supply list. So I went to the art store, I did my shopping, and I came back and I clicked play on the video, and I just followed along. But I first had to get rid of the idea that this was going to be perfect in any way. Or I just had to get rid of all expectation and have fun. So that's the biggest piece of advice. Please make it fun for yourself. No pressure.
Right. Oh, yes. Yes, the fun part. We tend to take everything very seriously.
Right.
So can you tell me a little bit about your new course that's coming up, or that's going right now, about the writing for inspiration?
Yeah, thanks. It's had many names over the last several months. It started out as a writing for warrior healing, but right now it's called Write to Heal. And I've been teaching this workshop at a local place in Bethesda, Maryland, at the Writer Center. But I've also created something that people can do online, just a self-paced online course. Basically the same workshop, just not in a live environment. And that's, the more that I interact online, the more people I meet from across the world. They love to do this work, but they can't come to Bethesda.
No.
So I'm really, really excited about being able to create something that people can work through. So that's what it's on my website. It's Write to Heal, the online course, and it's supposed to be 6 weeks, but it's self-paced. You can do the lessons as quickly or slowly as you feel like, and it's a combination of body awareness and writing, guided exercises, discussion, prompts, and that's all on audio. I recorded those lessons on SoundCloud, so it makes it easy.
Yeah. Well, definitely, I know for a fact, seeing as I like to write too, that writing is a doorway to visual art too. That it can free up a lot of energy and uh, make you aware of, say you write something like a poem and you can see a picture with that. So I feel writing definitely is a gateway toward a higher creativity, um, whether it be visual art or just words. And it's just a different medium, but it all goes together. So
Definitely.
I think, do you have any other suggestions for new artists or any other like art materials that you enjoy?
Well, I think I
And
fell in love with mixed media artwork because it's so much fun to work with different medium on the page. And you made me think about something, and that is that everybody has a different taste. Everyone likes different things when it comes to art. So what I was encouraged to do in the beginning was to look at the stuff I really enjoyed and try that. And that's what I ended up doing with the mixed media pieces. I just found a couple people and I really enjoyed their artwork. For me, it was the color, the vibrant color, the joyful type of art that I was looking at. That really resonated with me. And I thought, I'd really love to create something like that. And so that's the biggest piece of advice, I think, is just figure out what you really love and then find a way to learn about that technique.
yeah, yeah, that's excellent advice, really. Well, I don't know if there's anything I didn't cover, but it feels like you are a shot of inspiration.
Thank you. I really appreciate you recognizing the positivity behind the word warrior also,
Yes.
because not a lot of people understand why I use that word. They use the negative connotation to it, and for me, it's such a positive word to sort of be a warrior in your own life.
Yes.
Really, move toward that free, full expression of who you are. It takes that kind of person. It takes a warrior to really be themselves in the world. It's scary.
Yeah.
So I love that you said that earlier. I wanted to thank you for that.
Yeah. Then I feel that you really embody that and the bravery and just the courage to be who you are. But I wanted to also again mention that this book is available on Amazon and you can order it anytime. It's Laura Probert and Patricia, I cannot say that her name.
Grace Dunn, yes, an amazing artist here locally in Bethesda. She
Uh-huh.
helped me create these art journals. They're really wonderful.
Yeah, so go and get your copy and then check out Laura's offering. I know it's a fabulous writer's course, but it can benefit any kind of artist. So the bravehealer.com or lauraprobert.com. And thank you so much for coming here and talking with us today. And I know that the people in the art group will love to hear your slant on the art life.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye-bye.